Hi everyone, if you're new to the channel, then my name's David Hatch. I'm a leadership coach and business owner based in the UK. Thanks for joining us and welcome, or welcome back if you've been here before. In this video, I'll be continuing on from last time on the subject of what great leadership looks like, and the second half of my top tips for new managers or leaders. Hey everyone, welcome to the second video that I'll be doing on the topic of leadership and management in business. I'll be doing a new video every week and we'll be looking at topics on leadership, management and running a business, with a few hints and tips based on experiences of myself and some of the people I've worked with. In this second video, we're finishing our look at what makes great leadership. We've been going through my top 10 tips for people who are leading a business or managing a team. And today we're covering tips 7 to 10 in no particular order. This should be useful for you if you're new to leading or managing people, or perhaps you've recently started with a new team or taken a job at a new company. Alright, so tip number 7 is a big one. I'll probably spend too much time talking about it in truth, but it's another example of something that is simple in theory, but often seems to be a real struggle for some managers and CEOs. And it's this: be honest, open, and authentic in all of your dealings at work, but especially with your colleagues, teammates, and the people you're managing. There's a prevailing culture in a lot of organizations today where management don't necessarily share the full picture of what's going on in the business. And this can prove to be really quite toxic, particularly if there's no good reason for it. You may not feel like, as a manager, that everyone needs to know that the company missed its sales target last month, or that so-and-so has resigned. But there's 4 important reasons why you shouldn't be afraid to tell the truth and to be as transparent as possible. Firstly, if you keep things to yourself, then you're going to create an atmosphere where the team thinks you're trying to hide something from them, and that can really damage your ability to lead. Secondly, the grapevine in most organisations means that everyone is going to find out that piece of information one way or the other. So you're doing yourself a huge favour in terms of trust and credibility as a leader if you're the one who shares it with the team. Thirdly, there's a culture and commitment issue to think about too. As an employee or more junior member of staff, people will feel more included, valued and trusted if the leadership practices honest transparency in this way. The most likely result of doing this is that your people become more committed to the organisation and to its goals, as well as to you as a leader. And finally, the most common reason for keeping things from the team like this is when something has gone wrong, or there's been a consistent failure over an extended period of time. Maybe the company's in financial difficulty, or there's a new product that isn't selling, or more recently, perhaps the impact of COVID has been significantly worse than people expected. The leader's own fears in these situations mean that they don't want the wider team to find out about these things, in case they all leave, or they stop working as hard, or maybe that they tell people outside the company what's going on, or whatever. But hiding failures in this way is really the worst thing you can do as a leader, because you're hurting your problem-solving ability. You've all heard that phrase, 2 heads are better than 1. So if you're leading a team of 9 people, let's say, that's 9 other minds, 9 other heads that you're not getting the benefit of by not sharing the failure with them. You're reducing your problem-solving capacity by 90% in this example. It's crazy. Why would you do that? Share the problem with the team. Problem shared is a problem solved, halved, reduced, something like that. Moving on from that to tip number 8, which is a bit of a variation on the theme of the previous one. Share the vision. Regardless of the size of the organisation or the team that you're responsible for, or the number of people that you're managing, It's the leader's responsibility to share the overall vision for the organisation with those people. If you're the CEO or your senior management, then you're obviously also responsible for defining and setting what that vision is. But the primary thing I want to focus on here is that process of sharing it. In business, if you want the best efforts from your people, then you have to tell them where you're trying to lead them to, why does getting there matter for them, for you, and for the business, and how will you collectively complete that journey. This is so important for you to cement a good rapport with your team, get them bought into what you need them to achieve, and it's a further feather in your cap in terms of your credibility and trustworthiness as a leader. Okay, we're on the home stretch now. Tip number 9 is to care about the people you lead or work with and incorporate this into your decision making. Your staff, workers, employees, team members, colleagues, whatever you want to call them, they are people. They're not resources to be exploited. You may pay them to do a job, and it's true that by doing so you're entitled to a certain level of effort from them. But what it doesn't mean is that you own them, their time, or any part of their lives. Treat people with the respect and understanding that they all deserve, and find ways in your day-to-day routine to demonstrate that you care about them as people and not just as employees or resources to be used up. If you can actively care about the well-being and the career goals of your team, then you're more likely to make the decisions that will create the best outcomes for them, and if you do that enough times, you'll see the best outcomes for your business as well. This one is tough because it's really an emotive question, but from my own experiences, I can tell you that if you can't find a way to connect with and genuinely care about your team and get that across to them, then you really have no business leading them. Harsh as that may sound, it is a huge obstacle to being effective in the role. And I'm not saying that you can never do the job if you don't care about the people, but I would say you'll never see massive success, and you'll certainly struggle to adopt some of the more recent models of leadership, which are the ones that people in contemporary workplaces have come to expect. On the other hand, if you get this balance right, you'll never struggle to persuade your team to do something. They will reciprocate and do their best to help and support you as their leader as well. Finally, top tip number 10 for business leaders and new managers. This one is, for me, the most fundamental behaviour that you need to display as a leader in any context. Lead by example. There's a lot of detail to unpack in this fairly simple idea, and we could spend forever examining it. But the core of this idea is the question of moral authority. And it's another great way of building that trust with the team and improving your credibility as a leader. People don't want to work for a manager or follow a leader who they feel isn't pulling their weight. So if you're expecting more from your team than you do from yourself, you're getting the balance totally wrong. Prove that you're all in it together and are openly working towards the same outcome for everyone, and people will be far more likely to pitch in and go above and beyond the strict limits of their jobs, because they'll be more invested emotionally in achieving success for the organisation and supporting you as a leader. If you're one of the leaders who's getting into the mud with them, who's rolling their sleeves up and joining in with the work, you're going to earn their respect that much more quickly. So just a quick recap then of those top tips. Firstly, worry less about the org chart and more about communicating. 2, communication is a two-way street. 3, take an interest in what matters to your team. 4, learn to empathise. 5, be present, be mindful and be focused. 6, it's all about your values. Know what they are and pass them on to your team. 7, be honest, open and authentic, especially with the people you're managing. 8, share the vision. 9, care about the people you lead. and incorporate this into your decision making. 10. Lead by example. So that's the end of this video and of our two-parter on what great leadership looks like. I hope that's been interesting or useful or both, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Please do hit the like button or leave a comment and let me know what you think about the video or even your thoughts on leadership and your own experiences. You can also subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when I post new content. I'll be doing one video a week on a similar topic around leadership or management or something in business, whatever strikes me that week. Finally, if you found this video helpful and you want to learn more, then I do provide leadership coaching as well as some online training. So there's some links in the description underneath the video for you to check that out as well. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.